Well, welcome back to another Coffee and a Chat. I just want to take a moment to just share a little something that the Lord shared with me today. I had my neighbor called up and she needed to see me for a minute. Now, she was going to come over to my house, but she was waiting on some stuff over there and couldn't really leave. And I said, look, no problem. I can run across the road right now. And so I ran over to her house instead of her coming to mine. Now, we run back and forth to each other's houses ever so often, and so it's not really like a new path or any great new revelations, but we live out sort of in the country. It's losing that because they're putting in housing developments all around us, and so some of our country ways maybe have changed a little bit, and some of the ways of the cities or the towns, we don't really have any cities around us, but we have some little towns, has kind of infiltrated into our little area here. One of which is Neighborhood Watch. We've never really seen a need for it, I don't think, in the past, but now that there's population coming in, yeah, it might be necessary. And so this was something that they started, I don't know, a year or two ago. It's been a little while. And so my neighbor lady, she has one of those Neighborhood Watch signs in her yard. I've walked past that thing a couple dozen times, no problem, maybe more. And, and it's just the Neighborhood Watch sign. It's never really stood out to me or called out to me and hollered at me, flagged me down and yelled at me like it did today. I'm walking past that sign and I'm telling you, it about jumped up out of the ground. It's waving its little sign hands at me. It's hollering at me. It's saying, take a look, take a look, take a look. So I kind of step back and I look at that sign and I see in great big black letters that are wanting to jump off that sign and grab me. It says, we're watching you. I think all the little Neighborhood Watch signs, say that. And it just was like, oh my goodness, it was such a weird experience because that sign was calling to me. And I'm like, Lord, okay, so I know this has got to be you because signs don't holler at me. What in the world's going on? And so he said, well, they're watching you and you need to be aware of that. And so I was like, okay. So I went in and I saw my neighbor and took care of what we needed to take care of and answered her questions and figured some stuff out and, did our little thing that we needed to do. And then I came back home. And when I got home, I'm like, okay, so what's the deal? What's the deal with the sign? And I began to just press in with the Lord and listen to him. And it was funny because when I was going over there, I had said, well, I suppose there's something you want to tell me, and that's why you're having me go there instead of her come here like she had planned. And sure enough, you see, he did. There was something, if she had been able to come to my house, I never would have had this experience today with that sign. So, when I was a kid, you knew who your neighbors were. And I've told stories about, I grew up in a little bitty town and, we were, all the mamas in town were watching us. We had a hard time being able to go anywhere and not be under somebody's watchful eye. And everybody watched out for each other. And if you had a need, well, then, you would you just tell your neighbors and your neighbors would get together and we would all help each other. And if somebody was having a hard time and needed food, then everybody'd go take stuff out of their pantry and we'd take it to the neighbors and make sure they had food. If they, somebody got sick and they needed childcare, boom, most of the moms were stay-home moms. And, and it just, everybody knew everybody and trusted everybody and helped each other. And, you knew who each other were. Then, in life, things really changed and it kind of, people were busy doing other things and they didn't really get to know their neighbors. And pretty soon we find ourselves living in a world where we don't even know their name. We don't know who our neighbors are. We don't know what's going on. And I think that has been starting to change a little bit. But I know in my own life, God gave me a real burden for all my neighbors. So all my neighbors right in this general area, there's not a lot of them, but I'll have them all written down in my prayer journal. And I pray for them every single day, all of them. All the ones I know. There's a few I don't know yet. They're like little rental houses that change occupants a lot. But the different, most of them right in here that own their homes and stuff and are here all the time. We know each other, at least by name. And I've been praying for them because I want everybody to know Jesus like I know Jesus. I just do. I just can't imagine how horrible it would be to live without him. So I want to make a difference in my neighbors' lives. And the first thing I can think of that I can do is pray for them. The next thing is get to know them, interact with them a little more. So I've been trying to do that. Every so often, when my oven was working, bake some cookies and take them to all the neighbors, just a little, hey, how you doing, or whatever. And at Christmas time, I, try to bake some goodies and take them around to them and all. I'm just trying to kind of ease into this building a relationship. And if you're hearing a dog barking in the background, that's Samson. Marvin's bringing in some firewood. And so he's letting Marvin know that he can see him. Oh, that dog. Yeah. Another one. I always have those watchdogs that let me know that that I'm there. They announce my arrival to me. So anyway, we'll see if he settles down. I don't know if you can even hear him. It seems like this mic picks up a lot. So I was just going to tell you, everything's fine. Just a dog getting a little excited about seeing Marvin. All right. So with my neighbors, trying to get to know them more and trying to build relationship, God just wanted to remind me that I've put myself out there and they're watching me. That whole neighborhood watch has a whole different meaning for me. It's not just, watching for the strangers, but they're watching me. They're watching Marvin. They're watching how we conduct ourselves, how we interact with each other, how we handle different situations. I mean, we've got different inconveniences with all the building going on around us, and we've had our road shut down for some repairs that they had to do. And I mean, everything's getting fixed up for the new housing developments, because we've got 3 right here that are just 2 surrounding our land, and the other one is across the road from us. And so we're really feeling that crunch, and they've started to break ground now. And so things are happening. I don't know that anybody's really very happy about the housing developments coming in. We all lived here because we wanted to be in the country, and now we're not going to be in the country anymore. That is rapidly changing for us. There's a lot of things to complain about. I might complain sometimes, and I probably shouldn't be, huh? And it's not about just putting on for the neighbors and being a certain way for them, but it's got to be genuine. And I just felt like today God saying, Angie, you need to step up your game, because they are watching you. Your neighbors are watching you. The world are watching my children. They're watching to see how you guys are going to handle things, how you're going to interact with each other. They're watching to see if you really trust me, if you really turn to me. They're watching to see who I am through your lives. That's a huge responsibility. There was an old saying about the strongest sermon that a person can hear is the life that you live. I think that's how it went, something like that. That how we conduct ourselves, how we live our lives, how we genuinely are as human beings, that's the real testimony. That's the real representation of who Jesus Christ is to us. And so if I'm just kind of into it, but still got a lot of the world in me, then what do I have that they don't have? If I'm getting upset and being negative and can't find peace, then really what's any different about me? See what I'm saying? I know that my life has to be different. And it has to be different in a way that reflects Christ, so that they can see that. And through what they see in my life, maybe he'll be able to touch their lives. Maybe it will open doors and soften their hearts because God uses our lives. So I just wanted to share this with you today because I can tell you this. If you're open with your faith, your neighbors are watching you too. And your neighbors, the people at work, the people at the grocery store, every place you go and do business, everywhere that you interact, where people know who you are and that you're a Christian. Yeah, better watch out if you got that honk if you love Jesus bumper sticker on your car. Yeah, how's your driving? How's it going? We advertise in so many ways. T-shirts we wear, just verbally, the things we say. But are we living a life that really reflects him in a way that would make a difference to them? Because we need to. They're watching us. All right, just wanted to share that with you guys. If you want to speak to me privately, I now have 2 ways for you to reach me. And all you got to do is go to the description of this video. It has my email address. It has my P.O. box. And I love to hear from you. Other than that, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Those are some of the greatest things you can do to help my channel. People are always asking, how can I help your channel? Well, right now I can tell you, subscriptions, likes, comments, sharing, all of that. That helps me. All right. Hope this just said a little something to you today. Maybe gave you a little something to think about. And now I'm going to go fix dinner for a couple of dogs. And Marvin, he's not a dog. He's awesome. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure.